There's a common theme when I hear you, and that common theme is this idea of one, a goal, this idea of a vision. You know what you want to achieve. Like
Mhm.
your business before you were married, before you had any children, you lived and breathed your business, right?
Yeah.
And you designed your life around that. And then you got married, and you and your husband have a common vision. I think that's super important, right? You don't need to each want the same things. You could be doing different things, but again, the vision, as an example, your vision now of touching the lives of 100 million people. Like
Yeah.
your vision is contribution, and you'll do that in many different ways. But you have this vision, and what is very apparent about you is you've designed your life around
Yes.
that vision. And when it was one kid, you brought them everywhere. When it was two, you still brought them, but it got a little bit more difficult. And then three, it comes to the point where you said it brilliantly. You're like, okay, I can't just continue to do more and work harder and just add more logs to the fire. I need to
Right.
create systems, just like you had in your business before you were married or your children, right? But
Yeah.
systems can apply to every area: business, professional, family, personal, every single area. So I'm curious, if you're talking to somebody and let's say you don't have the world's most information about them, someone listening
Mhm.
right now,
Yeah.
is there a system that you applied and adopted maybe early in your life, maybe recently, that you would never throw by the wayside? This system you'll keep with you for the foreseeable future. What system
Yeah.
would you recommend that can bring more happiness to somebody's life now?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a combination of things. I kind of have a system for everything. Everything's kind of where I want to be able to delegate if I can or take things off my plate very easily. So I kind of have a system for every little thing. I've learned to do that. But I'll tell you, the book is really a lot about that. I mean, the first half of the book is how to get clarity on that vision, on creating your dream life, creating these systems and putting these things in place. But the first half of the book is how to do that, how to get that clarity. And I think that you hit it on the head. Like that is the most important. If you don't know where you're going, you're gonna end up somewhere else, and you're gonna be frustrated pretty much the whole time. Then the middle of the book kind of teaches you how to become a leader and how to develop leaders around you so that you can grow and scale your business to another level without having to, again, have that burnout situation of you just grinding it out. And then the last half of the book is really what everybody wants. How do you have it all? How do you
Mm,
juggle it all? How do you, make sure that you can put all these different techniques, systems, tools in place? So there's so many that I have. In that book, you'll learn a ton in business, but you'll also learn a ton as far as being a parent or
yeah.
just running a household. So that again, you're not, because there's so many little stressors in your life. And I believe that especially in the day we live right now, there's just kind of a lot of chaos out there and a lot
Yeah.
of media that has a lot of negative stuff going on with, oh, there's the next market crash and the pandemic, or what, all these different things that could happen
Hmm.
and have happened. Again, I've been in business 23, 24 years. So, I grew my business during the 9/11 financial crisis, during the 2008 financial crisis, and then again during the pandemic. And there's going to be another one coming around the corner eventually,
Yeah.
right? I know that. And when hard things happen, my business has grown
Mm,
100% at least during each of those examples. And that's because it's not all about me and about what I have to deal with. And so when those things happen, I can look through that mess for opportunities for growth because I do have all these systems in place. But I would tell you the first thing I would do before any of the systems is get clarity. Get
mm.
clarity on your vision, your goals, what you really want your life to look like. I see so many people, new entrepreneurs, that's who I'm kind of speaking to right now. Like they want it bad, they want a better life, they want to have something great for their family, maybe that they never had. And so they're like, let's go. I'll do whatever it takes, to win. And then life hits and you get distracted. And that could be big or little. Maybe your mom is sick with cancer, or maybe one of your children are going through something hard, or you're going through something hard. And that's life. I mean, adversity is going to come. It's just what it is. I believe adversity is for our good. It's for our growth. I mean, there's two of us. There's the guy or gal that is, and the one that is to be, that's meant to be. And for you to get from here to here, it's not just being on a bunch of podcasts, which helps. It's not just reading a bunch of good books that helps, but it's really you going through the trials, the challenges to come out a better person, to be this person that can lead thousands or that can change your life. So that's going to happen. But to get through it the right way, you have to have clarity on who this person is, who that better version of you is, that guy or gal. What contributions are you going to make in the world? And so, just so you know, I wasn't like this when I started in business. I grew up in a trailer in Montana, in northeastern Montana, a town of like 325 people. I grew up on food stamps and welfare, and no one in my family's ever made any money at all. I had no examples of success. There was no John Maxwell or Ed Milet or Rich Thaler or any of these wonderful people in my life saying, you can do it. And so I had to say, well, this is not, I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew what I didn't want. I didn't want in my home for my kids to hear their mom and dad talk about which bill can we pay? Are we going to be able to have heat? Do we have to borrow a pig to feed our family?
Yeah.
Those things. And so I left that little tiny town of small thinking, and I went to some place where at least a lady could get a job. And I worked my butt off. I'm just telling you. And I worked. And luckily I was introduced to a business that someone said, maybe you can do this. And again, I gave it all I got, and I was successful there, and then kind of, moved up from there. But the thing that drove me to just, again, go through all the tough things of starting a business and all of the failures that we all will go through and the trial and error was that person I wanted to become. My goal was I wanted to win so big that it was so undeniable that I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and all my younger siblings are very much younger than I am.
Yeah.
But all my younger siblings could say, well, gosh, it doesn't matter where we came from, doesn't matter what happened to us or any of those things. Doesn't matter where you came from. Listen to me, you guys. It doesn't matter your current circumstances or your past circumstances. All that matters is where you want to go. And so my big vision, my big goal was to just be successful, to be that example, to be that hero to them. And so that kept driving me enough to then where I would have some accomplishments and say, well, if I can do that, well, maybe I can do this. And then my vision kept stretching. And then, like I said before, I kept getting around good mentors that would pour belief into me that my vision would get bigger and bigger. And so when I first started in business, I thought, well, gosh, if I could just make what I'm making as an employee, but have my own schedule, well, that would be a dream come true, right? and now it's, like I said, I've had all my dream cars and dream homes and wonderful things, and now I have a business plan or life plan or whatever you want to call it. My vision, I guess, it goes 100 years past when I pass away. Of generationally, like, how I want to impact the lives of others. Yeah. So the book is just a very small piece of a bigger vision. And I'm excited about it. I've never been more excited than I am right now. So that's why I'm telling you, like, that's the most important piece before all the systems, before all the other stuff, because otherwise, if people say, well, I just want to be successful. Well, usually that means that there's a price tag on that. Like, I want to make $500,000 a year. Or I want to make $250,000 a year. Or I want to make $1 million, whatever it may be. And when you get there, even though you say it's not about the money or whatever, and you love it, when you get to a certain spot, you will stop. You may not quit, but you won't be the same hungry version of you that's trying to get better. And so that's why you need to keep stretching your vision and keep having this, the dream person that you're becoming, that better version of you that you're becoming. So I think that that's where you start getting clarity on what just lights your fire. What, maybe it's not just about money. Maybe it's about, like for me, it was my sisters in the beginning. And now it's, about these other things that I want to do throughout the world. But, I feel like I'm a global child advocate. And that's what lights my fire. You know what I mean? So I try to build leaders in all that I'm doing. In every one of my business, I'm trying to build leaders that understand money and they can build wealth. And I believe when you have leadership skills and you have money, you can change the world. So I'm trying to just light their fire a little bit of, it's more than just, it's more than just money. It's more, maybe someone has a passion to help kids with autism and another one has a passion to help in sex trafficking. And maybe another wants to help the vets with their suicide rate. I don't know. But that's kind of the goal that I have. But again, it didn't start there. It started with the life that I wanted for my little family.